Alright. Wait, I can set the skills? Oh my god, are you kidding me? Increases damage? Damage? What? Increase the damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed. Effective during the bullet time battle. Definitely.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course.
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
Oh, that's right. Junko and her are dead.
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier.
I don't like you very much, Monokuma.
Friendship penetrates?
Hifumi, not the time.
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
All right. I'm getting PTSD from Ace Attorney, but here we go. It's about to begin. The debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak about everything. Because this isn't just about me. Everyone's lives are on the line. Your first non-stop debate is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Yes. As things progress during each class trial, you will engage in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, characters will speak one after another without pause. It's up to you to unearth any lies or contradictions buried within their statements. What this means is you'll have to use your truth bullets to refute what they say. Any relevant truth bullets you found during your investigation will be loaded into the truth cylinder. Use the mouse to aim and fire with the left mouse button. Pay close attention to each character's statements and use your truth bullets to blast the right ones. Note that if you run out of time, you will automatically fail, so please be careful. If you press the escape key during these arguments, you can review the controls. Good luck, have fun. I probably won't. Okay. Make your argument. Alright. Evidence of a struggle. Alright.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono.
That is true. Yes.
We know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
Uh-huh.
In the bathroom.
Yes.
So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise
Nope.
while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to...
Wrong.
No, that's wrong.
Break. Alright.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Well, between Sayaka and the murderer, of course.
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom? She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide.
God damn, I love your voice.
The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Chihiro never took a look at the scene.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Alright.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
We need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka. A knife, dummy. Okay. Make your argument. Alright. The kitchen knife set.
So
Alright.
what was used to kill her?
A knife.
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him.
Wrong!
No, that's wrong.
You fool, Mondo! You can't punch me here.
No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
I can definitely tell it's a kitchen knife,
Okay,
Mondo.
so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
Leon, how blame shifts?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Kyoko, you've already figured this whole thing out, haven't you?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
Yes. She's right. There's got to be a breakthrough somewhere here just waiting for us to find it. Because I know damn well I'm not the killer. There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? No, not at all. I don't want to know anything. You can concentrate by holding down the space key. While you're concentrating, time will slow down so you can pay closer attention to what everyone's saying. On top of that, it'll steady your aim, making it easier to target potential weak points. Concentrating less consumes the focus gauge, and if the gauge empties, you can't concentrate. But the focus gauge will recover over time, so let your brain take a rest. No need to rush. Alright. Aoi's account. Alright.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon.
Yes.
But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right?
No.
He did it in secret. Nobody was in...
Wrong, Coco!
Wrong.
You are a fool!
Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Well, I went and go to get some tea from the kitchen last night and all the knives were still there. When I finished my tea and went back to the kitchen to wash my glass, one of the knives was gone. The knife disappeared while you were drinking tea in the dining hall.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You're right.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall. But I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this?
Oh, she's retaliating.
What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together and lying to protect each other?
The idiot swimmer girl, how dare you?
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
Ooh.
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
Then what's the point of being an accomplice?
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rule?
Ooh.
Good grief! Enough already. No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case.
Okay, calm down.
Did I say that out loud?
Okay, so Monokuma just revealed something. There were no accomplices in the case.
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
So it's one person.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife? Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that?
Yes.
I can.
That's right. Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
That's a new development.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
Yeah.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis.
All right then.
Stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
No.
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room.
Yes.
So, I don't think that's a problem.
So, put it together. If it's not bad to do that, then if I said I stayed in her room...
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
I know, they could hold hands.
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true. One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Who was it?
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Yes, thank you, but tell us.
Well, because they're not here anymore.
Junko. Or with Sayaka. Someone who's not here. Are you talking about...
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Sayaka? Okay, so the person who took the knife from the kitchen was... Sayaka.
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility.
It's very true.
And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water.
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
So why though?
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
But she had the sword for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
Oh shit.
What?
See? He did do it after all!
Stop siding with Byakuya.
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
Yes, the talent is telling the truth. Now shut up, Hifumi. Damn, if I don't do something, they're gonna blame me for the murder. Don't they understand? If they convict me, everyone's gonna die.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Why does your voice sound familiar?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Your first Hangman's Gambit is about to begin. As things advance further in class trial, the Hangman's Gambit will eventually take place. The point of this is to reveal an important phrase related to the incident in question. You'll have to deduce the phrase from the letters flying around and the letters already known. Completing the phrase by shooting down the flying letters in the right order. Use the mouse to aim and use the left mouse button to shoot the desired letters. If you shoot down the wrong letters, you'll suffer damage to your influence gauge. If this gauge reaches 0, or if you run out of time, you fail. Something that should have been at the scene but wasn't. We just figure out what that something was. Oh shit. Alright. Think, Makoto. Think! Oh, No. No. H? No. I. Shit. Wait. Oh, I missed. Oh, fuck. Okay, I think I know how it works. No. Oh, that's how it works. I have to shoot the... Okay. I got you. I got you now. I didn't really understand what it meant.
Now
I'm sorry.
I understand. That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
It does.
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Ha ha ha! Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
Because someone used the lint roller, my
Got
friend.
rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then, Makoto isn't the culprit?
Finally!
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
Absolutely.
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
Look at her smug face. She's on my side.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
Oh, I remember. The killer struggled getting into the bathroom, and the evidence that proves it is... the bathroom doorknob.
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
That they had trouble, Chihiro.
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room?
No, I'm saying I wouldn't have a reason to break the door because I know the trick.
But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You
still
fool.
don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Your smugness will save us all. Kyoko said it was a bewildering act. I almost didn't notice it at first, but is that the key point here? There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates? Yes! From here on out, the number of weak spots will start going up. But no matter how many weak spots, there's essentially only one lie or contradiction in the debate. What I'm trying to say is, not all weak points you see are necessarily false. Use a truth bullet in the wrong one, and not only will you fail to refute what they said, but you also lower your trust with everyone, and your influence gauge will take damage. Now this is important, because if your influence gauge reaches 0, you fail. You'll have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or contradictions. Alright, here we go. Bathroom door frame, okay.
The incident took place in Makoto's room.
True.
Sayaka was first attacked in the main room.
Yes.
She then fled into the bathroom.
Correct.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
Wrong!
No, that's wrong! The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then Why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door...
Maybe it's lucky that the door was stuck.
That's not lucky at all.
Luck is what you think of it, you stupid bear.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place?
Cause the nameplates were switched.
Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
One important detail? For some reason they were convinced the door was locked. Which means the important detail the killer didn't know was that the crime took place in my room.
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable.
It is, unless you consider they changed the nameplates.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
Correct.
That is a definite possibility.
Byakuya, eat your words.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
In other words, it would have had to been someone who was not me or Sayaka.
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
Thank you for coming back to our side, Toko. That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Okay, then who did do it?
Okay, we've gotten the first problem taken care of. We proved our innocence. Now we have to prove someone else's guilt.
I'm sorry, but I give up. Quit without saving.
I'd rather not.
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules.
No.
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Yeah.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
All right.
Oh, you...
Don't sound disappointed. Don't sound...
You gotta sound so disappointed.
That's what I was trying to say.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
It could be.
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way.
By being let in.
They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place.
Yeah, there's one person who doesn't know his place here, and that's you, my friend.
Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
The reason there's no way Sayaka invited her killer into the room? I already have the answer. Oh shit. Oh shit. It would have been... Yes.
I I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
The same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open your door for anyone.
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe...
What if
Oh,
her being
sorry.
scared was a lie?
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
What is it? There's something I want to talk to you about, just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the room wrong, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
What?
Huh? Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No!
No, I didn't. But
Of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
She tried to set me up! That note, Sayaka wrote it?
But why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
Yeah, shut up.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Yes, talk more, Celeste.
Would you like to hear what I have to say?
Yes, speak all day.
Very well then. Pay attention.
Alright. The dorm nameplates.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct?
Yes.
But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in.
No, that's wrong! The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So
what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
no, it was not.
Right?
Okay, then who did it?
There was only one person who could have switched the nameplates. Sayaka.
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note.
There's something I want to talk to you about, just two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Wait.
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room.
Oh dear.
That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her. We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
Thank you, Taka, for actually providing something useful to this conversation.
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Indeed.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
Correct.
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
Yes.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
Because the reason I know Sayaka's wrist was broken with the fake sword is because of her wrist.
I got it!
You goddamn idiot.
All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It is.
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
someone smacked her with it.
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword, right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Hifumi, I'd appreciate it if you shut your mouth.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
What happened in my room, and what led to Sayaka's death, that's what we need to make clear. There's a bit more to okay, let's learn more. Are you getting used to these non-stop debates? Starting with the next debate, I'll start loading multiple truth bullets into your truth cylinder. Oh no. But just like with the weak spots, only one of those bullets can actually refute the proper statement. In other words, from here on out, you'll have to combine the right truth bullets with the right oh god, no. Okay. If you come up with the wrong combination, you'll take damage to your influence gauge. You press the Q key to rotate the cylinder and choose which bullet to fire. Press and release the Q key to cycle through each bullet. Or you can use the mouse wheel. By the way, if the logic difficulty is set to kind, fewer bullets will be loaded into the cylinder. For our purposes this time, the logic difficulty will be set to mean. Okay. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? The replica sword sheath, the kitchen knife, and the replica sword. Okay.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword,
Yes.
and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Maizono's
Oh, I think I
wrist.
missed it.
So she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away. But then the culprit took that from her too.
And
Shit.
they killed her with it.
Oh shit.
And that's exactly what happened.
That's not what happened! Sword was used first and the knife came afterward. Is that really the order of events? At least some unexplainable details.
When the fighting broke out,
Okay, hold on.
the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
Wait, hold on. Oh shit! Yeah, so I see what you're saying is I have absolutely no idea.
Shoot!
You think about it one more time, there must be a contradiction in there somewhere. Oh shit.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
Wrong.
No, that's wrong.
Because the sheath had knife marks on it. I'm sorry, I can't explain this. I have to think about it in my head.
Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Because the sword sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like
Something sharp. You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Yes.
Stop jumping ahead! Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
Alright, Mondo.
if the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you are going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
Defense.
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it! So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening.
No, I don't think that's what happened.
So she grabbed the sword to defend herself. But then the culprit took that from her too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she was attacked by it.
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
The part of her body that shows she never used a sword is her palms.
I got it! You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
So whoever has the glittery palms.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Who would take the time to do that, though?
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
That too, but let's not talk about that.
No, that's not it at all.
There's no way Sayaka washed the gold coating off her hands because the water's off at night.
I got it! According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
You should probably get on that.
Oh my.
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly donkey.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
Okay, we'll just ignore you, Hifumi.
An insult, obviously.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
The one who damaged the sheath would have been the one without the sword. So, Sayaka.
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka.
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
What?
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct?
Yes.
Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Yeah.
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room, where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
Yes.
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior.
Screw you, Byakuya. I ain't Makoto.
I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Me.
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got...
The tables
dear.
were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
So that means the one who murdered her acted in self-defense.
Just hold on! That can't be true! Because...
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument.
What are you talking about?
You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it.
Monokuma?
Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Is it really all over? Obviously I'm committed to finding out who killed her, but what can I do? I mean, as far as clues go, there's nothing left. That's where you're wrong, Makoto, my boy. Trash duty, Aoi's account, and a dying message.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
No.
Very well. Then let's review all the clues we've found up to this point one more
Okay,
time.
that's good. Okay.
Do we really have time for all that?
Die! If we don't do something,
Wait.
we're gonna die!
No, trash duty. I need to talk about trash duty. Sayaka. Oh wait, no, dying message. Okay, thank you for.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Wrong.
No, that's wrong. There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
Dining? Wait, what did you say?
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember? 11037. Written in her own blood.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
Yes. There's no sort of question that Sayaka wrote the message, and I can prove it because of her left index finger.
I got it! Her left index finger had blood on it. That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still, what the heck do those numbers mean? 11037?
She ran out of blood making the N.
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
They're letters.
Oh, yeah, it looks like...
Huh? What?
No, it's just... look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
I figured out who did it before the investigation even began.
Ah, you're right. The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1-1, but looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Whoa. You might have finally just said something worth a shit.
So might have you, Mondo. So might have you.
Our little gray cells are really getting excited now.
But even if that really is an N, N037 doesn't make any more sense than before.
Well, I mean, we can make it Noel, but I'm pretty sure that's not what we're trying to do here. Damn, it's no use. I just don't know. Kirigiri, help Makoto out.
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Huh? Rotate it? I think maybe I see something.
Oh my god. Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
Huh? You just shot past the clue part and right onto who did it.
So, whose name did she write?
I know who did it. Sayaka's dying message reveals the real killer's name, and I figured it out right before any of this began. Hi, Leon.
Here's my answer. The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees. If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N, or more accurately, Leon.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence.
You're stuttering, therefore I know I am true.
It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me.
Oh yeah? We can prove it.
I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
Yep, the evidence that Leon tried to get rid of, I know what it was. It was your burnt shirt.
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
As the killers stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That may be true, but...
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Thank you, Kirigiri.
Yeah, I think...
The burnt remains of the button-up white shirt, which the killer wasn't able to get rid of. There's something about it we need to pay attention to in order to figure out who's responsible. How it was disposed of.
I got it! If we look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either. You'd need the key to get in, and the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty.
You don't sound convincing at all.
So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
Interesting.
No, that's wrong. There was another way to use the incinerator without being the one on cleaning duty. And that's exactly what proves that Leon is the real killer. The shattered crystal ball.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
Well, that's true.
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to
Wrong!
the incinerator in order to just...
No, that's wrong.
You fool.
Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
It cost $1 million.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, but,
But how would you use it?
The killer had to use the glass ball in a certain way, which was to throw it.
I got it! The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone threw a gap in the gate?
Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
Someone turned on the incinerator. Very strange. I'm quite certain it was off the last time I was down here. Perhaps it was the work of a fairy.
Hifumi had the key, so the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they'd gotten the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
Can we just all reflect for a second and realize that I solved this mystery before it began? I'm improving.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
Because there's only one person who could have done that. The ultimate baseball prodigy.
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right?
Correct.
The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
Yes, if they were the ultimate baseball prodigy.
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is...
The ultimate clairvoyance. No.
I got it! Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
I could ask you the same question, my sir.
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer! These goddamn shepherd brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you!
You still won't admit it? Okay then.
Let's nail the last... Let's do it.
Makoto, go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear. And with that, we can end this.
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this?
Say what you want, Leon. But all the questions have been answered, and the truth has been revealed. Now here's what happened.
The closing argument is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Yes. Every case has one last element to bring the class trial to an end. This is, of course, the closing argument. In this phase, you'll give a complete summary of the case. You'll have to reproduce the flow of events in the form of a comic book. However, you'll notice that in the comic book, there are a number of pieces missing. It's up to you to complete the comic using the provided truth panels. Also, if you take aim at a missing section and press the left mouse button, holy cow, you get a hint that might lead to breakthrough. Alright. Okay, so. No. Okay. Wrong. Okay, so Act 1 is that they changed this. Then, the lint roller. Then, they use the... Oh, there's more. Oh my god. Hold on. So first, they noticed the sword. My room was a scene of crime. Okay. No, I was right on that one. Then, they used the sword to defend the attack. Then, they knocked the sword out of her hands, or the knife, and then they had the sword. Then she ran to the bathroom, and they couldn't get in. She had to think fast, so they had to screw the thing open. So, after she was stabbed, she used the last strength to leave something behind, a dying message. Act 3. They used the lint roller to dispose of evidence. They used the crystal ball. Then, they threw a shirt. After he walked away, the piece of evidence that was left behind was the shirt.
The killer is you! I think I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning. Last night, the killer went to the room Sayaka was in. In other words, my room. From what we can tell, Sayaka invited that person there intending to kill them. She attacked them with the knife she'd taken from the kitchen earlier. But then something happened that she wasn't prepared for. They grabbed the fake sword I'd put in my room and fought back. During the struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist. And that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife. Finding herself cornered, Sayaka panicked and ran into the bathroom. The killer went after her, but couldn't get the bathroom door open. What they didn't know was that my bathroom door got stuck easily, and there was a trick to opening it. Sayaka knew about that because I told her, but of course the killer had no way of knowing. So instead, the killer forced the door open, took the kitchen knife, and stabbed Sayaka. But with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left a dying message. To keep the killer from noticing, she wrote it on the wall behind her. And with that, all her strength was gone. With Sayaka dead, the killer quickly began destroying the evidence. First, they took off their shirt, which was covered in their victim's blood. Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area. They wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there. Afterwards, the killer headed to the trash room to destroy their bloody shirt. They tried to burn the shirt using the incinerator there, but the trash room was blocked off by an especially sturdy gate, preventing access to the incinerator. So they came up with a plan to use Hiro's crystal ball, which he'd left in the laundry room. The killer managed to throw the ball through the gap in the gate and hit the incinerator switch. For any normal person, that'd be an impossible throw. But the killer had the confidence to take a shot. And that's because the killer was the ultimate baseball star. The crystal ball, thrown with absolute precision, hit the switch on the incinerator, which then quickly roared to life. Having destroyed the final piece of evidence, they left the area with, I imagine, a sigh of relief. But there was one thing they missed. Part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire burnt away and fell out of the incinerator. The killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence. Isn't that right, Leon? It would appear that Hiro simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room. You went there to try and wash the blood out of your shirt, and that's where you saw it, right? Seeing the ball, you thought of a way to take care of everything.
So, Leon, do you object to anything that's been said?
Do I object? Hell yes, I object! Of course I do! I object! I object! I object! I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories! You need evidence! Where's the evidence? Without evidence, it's all bullshit! It's bullshit and I refuse to acknowledge it!
Well then, I guess this is as good a time as any to present the evidence that proves you did it.
Oh.
Makoto, I believe you're in possession of that evidence.
I have the evidence? Your first bullet time battle is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Yes. Sometimes during a class trial, your opponent simply won't want to hear what you have to say. When this happens, you will engage them in a head-to-head battle. We like to refer to this as a bullet time battle, aka BTB by the way. During the BTB, you want to destroy your opponent's statements in time with the rhythm. Match your button presses with each tempo marker as they move across the screen and reach the center. Press the right mouse button to lock onto an opponent's statement. Destroy the statement you've locked onto with the left mouse button as the tempo mark. Oh. Use this message to deal damage to your opponent. If you can't pull it off, you'll be the one in pain. Oh, so I have to... Okay. Do this consecutively and you'll start a combo. Keep doing this and you'll initiate a tempo up. On the flip side, if you keep missing, you'll get a tempo down in the situation. When the tempo changes, so does the timing for hitting each button. So watch out for that. Deal enough damage to your opponent and a weak spot statement will appear. At that point, you can press the left mouse button to shoot down with a truth bullet like any other statement. Review their statement fast enough and you'll come out victorious. But just like before, if your influence gauge reaches 0 or you run out of time, you fail. Good luck, have fun. Okay.
When the killer broke the bathroom doorknob, they didn't use anything from your room to do it. So what did the killer use?
What did the killer use to take apart the doorknob?
I refuse to acknowledge you! You're stupid! Stupid, stupid, stupid! Stupid, 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 stupid!
I have to show indisputable evidence that Leon is the killer. I need to figure it out. Bullet time battle. Oh dear.
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! It wasn't me! Stupid! You lied! Stop talking! Shut up! Where's your proof?
Whoa, wait.
You kidding me? Not a chance! You lied! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! It wasn't me! Stupid!
Oh. Oh wait, I don't think I...
Stop talking!
I think I'm doing this wrong.
Where's your proof?
I'm doing this wrong. I'm doing this absolutely wrong.
Chance. You lie! Shut up!
I suck. Wait. Nobody believes me. No one wants to hear what I have to say. What? No! No!
Is this really the end for all of us?
What do you say? You want to give it another? Of fucking course I do. That's bull.
I refuse to give up yet.
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lied.
Okay.
Stop talking. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. You lie! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid! You lie! Stop talking! Shut up! Where's your proof?
Final strike.
Where's your proof?
This should prove it.
Yes! I honestly didn't understand how that worked. Okay.
The screws on the bathroom doorknob were removed. I wonder what kind of tool the killer used to remove them.
I mean, it had to be a screwdriver, right?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the toolkits we got each had one inside.
And that must be what he used. There aren't any other tools anywhere.
But the toolkit in my room had clearly never been used.
That's because the culprit didn't know it was your room. They thought they were in Sayaka's room.
Only the boys got toolkits, so the killer naturally assumed there wouldn't be one in there.
Okay, then whose toolkit did the killer use?
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
It had to be their very own toolkit.
Stupid, 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 stupid!
Leon, would you mind showing us your toolkit? If I'm right about this, then the screwdriver will show some evidence of being used.
Stupid, stupid, stupid! Huh?
And if you say you used it for something else, you'll have to explain exactly when, where, and why.
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
Stupid. Stupid.
So, you have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
Yeah, I kind of expected that. But A rank, first time, you know what? Even if I mess up on the last point, I'll take it.
Looks like you've reached your verdict. Then are we ready to cast our votes? You all have a lever in front of you. Use it to make your selection. Oh, just to remind you all, make triple sure you vote for someone. You wouldn't want to be punished for something so minor, right? Okay, then let's get excited! Who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Oh, I'll make the right choice.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Could I just vote for someone else at this point? Uh-oh, looks like you got it right on the money. The Blackened in this case, the one that killed Sayaka, was none other than Leon Kawada.
Huh? Hey, hold on.
Hold on a second. Leon, did you really kill Sayaka?
But
I don't believe it.
You son of a bitch!
Son of a bitch, what the hell's wrong with you?
I didn't have a choice.
To be fair, he didn't. He got forced to do this. It was kill or be killed.
So, that's why...
I killed her first.
None of you are any different!
One wrong step and you'll be standing you're the one standing here. There's a complete chance that I won't end up like this.
I was just... unlucky. That's all.
Yeah.
Hey, come on!
You expect me just to accept my death? Everything's become clear. The decision we made was right after all. But when I think about that, honestly, I'd be better off if we'd been wrong. Because if what we came up with was really the truth, then the truth is that Sayaka was trying to frame me. But even if that's true, I can't say she was wrong. After all, the mastermind, it's all because of that video. Even I couldn't handle what I saw in there. If I was her, and the video actually had something to do with me, I can't even imagine. Now we're trapped here with no way out. They're probably waiting for me. I can't afford to be stuck in here. The one thing that was more important to her than anything else, her dreams, her friends, to see something like that happen to them. And Sayaka, I did whatever it took to reach that dream. I mean it, even some things that weren't so pleasant. And that's why Sayaka, for the friends that meant so much to her, that's why she betrayed me. So when she said,
No matter what happens, please always be there for me. I need you on my side.
she was lying to me from the very beginning. She was using me. Is that why she talked to me in the first place? I guess I'll never know. Because there's nothing I can do to ask her what she was thinking. Once you're dead, that's it. Boy howdy, the entertainment industry must sure be terrifying, huh? I mean, to try and kill someone just because of those relationships. She seemed so nice and lovely on the outside, but inside, she descended into pure madness. What did you say? I understand, really, I do. Yep. You're in utter despair thanks to Sayaka's betrayal, right? Compassion, intimacy, love, the stronger those feelings, the stronger the despair when they collapse. Stop screwing with us, this is all your fault. Sayaka being forced to do something like that, all of it, everything, it's all your fault. Suddenly in a frenzy, I lunged at Monokuma. But
That's enough.
as angry as I was, Kyoko latched onto my arm without hesitation. Her grip was like iron, strong enough I was sure it would leave a bruise.
Calm down.
If you really want to make her enemies pay for what they've done, you need to let it go for now. Damn it! Oh, that was a close one. I thought for sure you were going to give me a good walloping. Just barely avoided punishment, you did.
Yes, indeed.
Now then, since you so magnificently revealed the identity of the killer during the class trial, the blackened Leon Kawada will receive his punishment.
Punishment?
Yeah.
You mean execution? Wait a second!
I didn't have a choice. I had to kill her.
Yeah, that's it.
I was just protecting myself in the heat of the moment. It was self-defense.
Is that okay?
How exactly was it self-defense? When you forced your way into the bathroom, did you or did you not use your very own toolkit? After she shut herself in the bathroom, you went out of your way to head back to your own room. Then you came all the way back, broke into the bathroom, and killed her. Am I wrong?
Do you understand?
You had any number of chances to stop what you were doing, but you chose not to. Is it not because you had an unclouded intent to commit murder?
So, that's why...
That's not... Stop it. I've had enough of this.
Oh.
Oh, are you sure? You were closer than anyone, were you not? He killed your precious Sayaka. Do you understand? I can't say Leon is solely to blame. Of course, I don't plan on blaming Sayaka either. Because the one to blame is him. What? If it weren't for you, this never would have happened to Sayaka or Leon. We shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be fighting against the one who put us in this situation. The mastermind. Uh-oh. Did you awaken to your sense of justice?
Hey,
Well, it just so happens there's nothing more unethical than an unwavering sense of justice. After all, it's people with that sort of mentality that perpetuate war all over the world. Is that the kind of justice that's awakened within you? Just shut up! Okay, well, anyway, more importantly, let's hurry and get to whatever has been waiting for. The punishment.
I'm begging you! Please, don't do this!
I'm sorry, Leon. You've been voted off the island.
Hey.
No more begging, no more excuses. You must pay the penalty for breaking the rules. Society demands it.
Stop! Please!
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
Oh no.
No!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
No!
what we saw, that was the true face of despair. I mean, if we can't call it that, what else could we call it?
Extreme!
My adrenaline's pumping right out of control.
I can't take it.
Do we really have to keep doing this? I just can't take it.
Well,
Well, hey, if you don't like it, all you gotta do is swear to cut all ties with the outside world and accept living here forever. That's only if every single one of you can get on board with that.
Damn you!
Fuck you. Why the fuck are you doing all this evil shit to us?
what the heck?
Evil? You make it sound like I'm some dark, awful secret society type of guy.
Say what?
Or in this case, a dark, awful secret society type of bear.
Well,
So why are you putting up an outstanding citizen like myself through such a grueling ordeal?
hey.
It seems like you're trying to use common sense to make sense of something that doesn't quite make sense. That's like trying to put a mile on a scale. I just don't think it's possible. I don't think what you're saying and what I'm saying quite fit together. Piece of shit. I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna pound your ass into the ground. You must really hate me to get so angry, huh? But if you do that, you're barking way up the wrong tree. What happened more because more than one of you decided you want to get out, right? No matter how much time passes, you can't get free of your regrets from the outside world. You're to blame. Of course we can't get free with the outside world. Being trapped in this insane place. You're trapped, are you? Well, I'm sure once you learn all the mystery of the school, your thinking will change for sure. You'll think, boy, isn't it so wonderful how we all get to live here forever?
What does this mean?
What are you trying to say?
Hey,
I feel like there's some deeper meaning hidden there. Just like before.
Thrills, chills, kills!
That's what everyone is waiting for after all.
hey,
When you say everyone, who exactly are you referring to? Sorry, I said everything I've got to say. I mean, to save some of the fun for later. And just like that, he was gone. He left us there overwhelmed by a nightmare turned reality. Even after he was gone, we stood there forever, unable to move. Actually, no, it wasn't that long, I think. Everyone just lost their sense of time. We were all too scared. Scared of being alone. No one even tried to speak. Their faces were stone, their voices dead. But it was in that moment...
just a second.
Makoto, can I talk to you for a second? She moved in close and whispered into my ear.
Makoto.
Before we head back, there's something I want to talk to you about. It's about Sayaka, isn't it? I'm surprised you figured it out.
Listen.
I told you before the class trial started. You had to figure out the mystery of this case yourself. You wanted me to realize how Sayaka betrayed me by myself, didn't you? The thought never even crossed my mind. I feel like such a fool becoming such an easy target like that.
It's true.
Sayaka meant to double-cross you. That's a fact that you can never change. But even till the very end, she wasn't sure of her decision. That's why, as she lay dying, she was thinking of you. She was thinking of me? You can't just say something like that. I mean, there's no way you can know that. Only Sayaka would know for sure, and we can't ask her now.
However...
Even if you can't ask her, you can infer it, don't you think? Her final thought was how she could protect you. What?
So...
The fact that she used her last ounce of energy to leave her dying message proves it. If she didn't care what happened to you, she never would have left that message. Well, maybe she just wanted to get back at the person who killed her.
Certainly.
That's certainly one possibility. But I don't think that was what it was.
Anyway...
She was uncertain. She wasn't sure she could kill someone or deceive you. Which is why her plan failed. Her hesitation attracted failure.
Right.
It's almost ironic when you think about it. Why are you telling me all this? Because you're the kind of person who can overcome this. Because you can move past the deaths of your friends, Sayaka, Leon, and keep moving forward.
Correct.
Without someone like that, the others would never be able to break free of such a desperate situation. Move past their deaths. I could never do that. No. I'm going to carry them with me for the rest of my life. How could I possibly move past something like that? Leon, Sayaka, I'll carry them with me forever. I'll carry their memories with me wherever I go. So instead of forgetting them, you're choosing the hard road. Well, I have high expectations for you. As she said that, she revealed the smallest smile.
Hey,
By the way, I have to admit, I'm curious. How did you know I wanted to talk to you about Sayaka? Oh, well... I'm psychic.
what?
Kidding. I just have pretty good intuition.